Hello and welcome to this week's Mystic Message. This week's Mystic Message is really speaking to this energy that we're feeling as we are getting closer to Winter Solstice, as we are getting closer to this new cycle, this new phase of the Earth's, natural cycles, which would be the seasons, coming into winter, which I know I've said this before to many people. Winter collectively is going to be a massive transformation portal as a whole, in different ways for different people. And we're ushering that in on the winter solstice, which happens to be the darkest day of the year. And so this message is speaking to essentially how to navigate this dark time. Because winter does feel dark, right? It feels dark in that we tend to go inward, which tends to be some healing and releasing, which is also a lot of the theme of December. But it's dark around us, right? There's less light from the sun. The days are the days where light is out is shorter, right? And so part of this message is a reminder that we are all different. We cannot compare ourselves to one another. And, not only are our paths and our journeys unique, and we're kind of all at our own unique spot within that, our energetic makeup is different. The word that I get for this is essence, like a soul essence. And the base of this essence is different for all of us. And the way that this was always communicated to me through my channeling is it correlates to the elements. And the elements that are our baselines and are the baselines for our essence speak to some of our kind of natural, innate, energetic blueprint in a lot of way, in the way that our energy manifests and works. And so sometimes our baseline might be different from even our astrological birth chart and all of that, but a lot of times there is some level of an overlap. So what is coming through is specifically around your sun sign in the zodiac, in your birth chart. And so anyone who's into astrology knows our birth chart is vast. There's so much more than just our chart. There's all of these transits and conjunctions that we go through at, different points in our lives. And they all paint a bigger picture than just our sun sign. And so I think a lot of people, we often know our sun sign, right? It's the sign that you know that you are based on, that chunk of, right now we're in Sagittarius, right? If your birthday was sometime in right now, you're a Sagittarius as your sun sign. And so what's interesting is the way to navigate this dark time of year, the darkest time of year, also this time of transformation, like phoenix energy, caterpillar going into the cocoon energy, is through our sun sign. Opposite, right? To navigate the dark, we need to embrace the light. And the light within our birth chart is our sun sign. So whatever your sun sign is going to be very relevant for you. So if you don't know what it is, Google free birth chart, type it in, and it will give you all of that. And so that energy is kind of your compass. It's kind of the energy that you want to lean into. So whatever your sun sign is, sometimes it resonates, sometimes maybe it doesn't, sometimes we feel resistance to it, and sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, that's totally me. This is a time to lean into it. And so whatever your sun sign is, right? And so again, for everyone, it's going to be different. And also another thing to note, and this is, so if you have your full birth chart in front of you, any placements that you have that are the same as your sun sign. So for me, I'm a Pisces sun, and then I have a ton of other Pisces placements. So the placements that match your sun sign are also going to be relevant areas to lean into, whatever those are. And so I'm not an astrologer. I'm not going to claim to be an astrologer. I have a wonderful astrologer. If anyone wants a recommendation, maybe I'll leave her link in the description here if you do want to go deeper. But so notice what your sun sign is. That's what you want to lean into. And then here's the interesting part. It is, what is the opposite? What is the opposing energy? I had it pulled up. Let me pull it up real quick. The energy, so if you ever looked at your birth chart, they often show up on this like wheel type of imagery. The sign that is your opposite is almost going to show up as a little bit of maybe a temptation and what you want to resist a little bit. Sorry, I'm pulling this up because I did have it up. Here we go. So Aries and Libra are opposites. Taurus and Scorpio are opposites. Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites. Cancer and Capricorn. Leo and Aquarius. And Virgo and Pisces. So getting to know somewhat of what the opposite one is vibe, even if you don't really understand the whole astrological component of it, at least the element of it, because every sign correlates to water, fire, air, or earth. They're all one of those. And so even if this is not your jam and you don't care to deep dive, understanding the elements and what they represent and kind of what the message is from the elements, which is what I'm going to get into next, is going to be important. So your sun sign, whatever that is, if it's a water sign, you want to lean into the water. And whatever the opposite is, right? For me, I'm Pisces, and then my opposite would be Virgo. Virgo energy, which is more analytical, organized. It's an earth sign. It's very tangible. Is what I would not want to lean into as much, simply just to navigate this dark era, again, as it peaks on the solstice on the 21st. Okay, so pause this if you don't know your sun sign, and then come back. All you need to know right now is the element that it is. And so this is just gonna, and if you already understand all of this, then you can maybe fast forward to the end, because the end is a specific message from each element for you. So if your sun sign is a water sign, what you really want to embrace is the flow. You want to go deep when you need to go deep, and you want to surface when you need to surface. That is completely like being in a flow. It's deep, it's emotional. It tends to be very spiritual, and it requires a lot of surrender. It is the ocean. It's being in the water, right? The best way to work with water is to surrender to it and to let it carry you wherever it needs to carry you, knowing that like you might feel a depth of emotion, and then it will wax and wane. Letting go of the resistance is the best way to work with water energy, to lean into it. Okay, Air is a very mental energy. It's very logical. To the contrast of water is a very divine feminine energy. Air is much more of a divine masculine energy, and that it is very mental body. And so if you are an air sign, you might notice getting a lot of downloads from your crown, right, into your body, right? Channeling might be stronger. You might just all of a sudden have these epiphanies and just start to put together the picture. It's an understanding energy. But you want to lean into it. You want to lean into more of the mental and being open to downloads coming in and any channeling that wants to come through you as you navigate through this, because you're ready to kind of understand the bigger picture, but you have to be open to letting it in. Fire. So if you're a fire sign, fire is alchemy, and it's also strength, and it's willpower, and it's very confident and strong energy. It's very action oriented. It's the opposite of submissive. It's I'm going to be seen, I'm going to be heard, I'm going to be exactly who I am, and I don't give a F what anyone thinks about it. So this is a very, I would say, embracing your authenticity in a very outward expressive type of way. So if you're an earth sign, stability is a strong one. Physicality, being present in our physical, earthly, human experience. Presence. So if you're an earth sign, the best way to navigate all of this is maybe less about going through the deep waters or, doing all of this etheric work in a conscious way, and more about just being present, embracing the human, embracing the day-to-day, the simple joys, the little things, and all that to say, that is where your magic will show up. This isn't to say, oh, you have to be one of these signs or another to feel more spiritually connected. It's almost the direction point to how to get to a deeper spiritual connection and to understand to make the most out of what this winter and dark phase wants to offer us, right? And again, it's all around transformation. And so this is your compass. This is what you want to lean into. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to leave you off with, this was just small little channeled messages, little phrases that each element shared. If every element was this archetypal energy and it wanted to share a message with you. And so again, whichever one that you are, this is your message. If you are a water, the message is, you need not fight to win the battle. You need not fight to win the battle. Meaning, to accomplish whatever it is that needs to be accomplished, and that doesn't mean in this big tangible way. Chances are it's an internal way, right? This is very internal. It's not about fighting. It's not about resisting. It's not about like standing up or protesting. It's go with the flow. Go with the flow. Do the inner first, less on the external, right? Need not fight to win the battle. Okay. Air, if you're an air sign, open your mind to see in greater depth. This is around, a lot of times we have blinders on. We don't even notice it. We're comparing ourselves to other people. We might have some belief systems in place that have a ceiling on what we think is possible, right? This is about clearing all that away. It's like, imagine you're going outside at night and the sky is wide open and expansive, and think of all those stars you can see, right? The expansiveness of the night sky or even the daytime sky, right? It's that. It's open your mind, and it can just be that tweak. I'm willing to open my mind, which means not being attached to anything you believe. Letting go of the attachment to anything you believe, because that's a bit of a narrow-minded way of viewing things. Being okay with being wrong, being okay with changing your mind, I'm willing to open my mind, and then you're going to be able to see things in ways that you would never have been able to see them before. If you are a fire sign, nothingness is everything all at once. That one gives me chills. Nothingness is everything all at once. This is very alchemy. This is a lot around 0 point energy, neutrality, right? And if you think, fire comes in and burns things away to get to kind of nothingness. And when you find yourself at the nothingness, that's when you realize that you're actually everything. And this is a beautiful space of manifestation, okay? Earth, if you're an earth sign, the message is be. That was it, just be, which means that is embracing this divine femininity of being. You don't have to do. How you navigate and how you get through this phase is not by doing more. You don't need to do more. You need to do less, and you need to be more. Embrace presence. Embrace just being and existing, and note just being present in your day-to-day, and you'll begin to see the magic, and the magic will start to flow in towards you. All right? I hope that this helps you navigate this time, and I'm sending you so much love. Mwah.